All right, we're at the White River, Arkansas, coming out of Bull Shoals Lake. The second day fishing yesterday was pretty rainy and the water stayed up high for most of the day. So didn't video anything. But this morning the water's still low. I think they just opened the gates recently, but we still got some time to fish. Just got a little Abu Garcia maxi reel with the Ugly Stick Light Pro 5'6". And we're gonna try the baby cutthroat Thomas Buoyant lure. One thing you got to keep an eye on, how fast the water is rising. You don't want to get stuck out here with the water coming down quick. I feel the current starting to pick up. I don't know how much time we have right now, but yesterday the water didn't go down until about 3 o'clock. The way I like to fish these spoons, I throw it up current just a little bit, far out as you can get it, reel in the slack, and then kind of just let the current bounce along the rocks. And a lot of times they'll either pick it up while it's doing that, or you can give it a couple pops just to get the spinner going again. And when it has that little change of direction, they'll come hit it. Just got snagged on something. Figured this would be a good time to come out this morning if they just open the water. A lot of times whenever they increase the water flow, right away they'll start biting, because with that increased water flow comes a lot of food that gets washed out when that water increases. I got 8-pound braid on here with 10-pound leader, which is a little heavy, but it's what I had for my Alaska trip, so I just kept it on there. A couple more casts with this guy and then we'll switch it out. The best thing you can do too is, if you're not getting hits one way, is just change it up. That might have been it. That was definitely a fish. That was a good fish too. Saw him boil right there. With trout, a lot of times, especially if you can see into the water, you'll notice that the trout are actually chasing your lure. Nearly every cast they might be chasing it, but they're not striking it. So what you can do if they're chasing it, not striking it, is either change color or size, or just change up your retrieve pattern. If you're doing a steady retrieve and they're not hitting it, as soon as you let it slow down or let it fall to the bottom, they'll strike it. Or if you're just letting it fall the whole time, like I have been in the current, as soon as you pick it up and start moving it, they might try to strike it. Very aggressive fish. There's a hit. Oh, that was a hit too. Another one. They're all over it. They're just not connecting. There's one. Oh, come on. We caught a bunch of nice little rainbow trout yesterday. And then when the water was still high, we were casting from the shore and we caught a couple little brown trout. I'll play that real quick. Waiting for the water to lower down a little bit so we can get out and wade. So I decided to cast some here. It's the second little brown trout caught. It's funny, we caught him on a Thomas Buoyant baby brown trout colored spoon, eating his little brothers and sisters. Pretty good. And nothing big or exciting this far. We've had limited windows to fish too, so it's not like we've put in a ton of hours. All right, we're gonna switch colors after this cast. This is probably the best color we've used out here. I don't know if it's the color or the little dimples in this, but this is definitely had the best results overall as far as colors go. All right, I stayed at the same size. The water's not running too hard, so I didn't want to increase the size and the weight. It would just change the the way it flutters down the current. So we'll see if this color does. We're getting hits on that last one, a couple, but they just weren't committing to it. So we'll see if this one does a little bit better here. One thing you absolutely have to have out here is a set of little tweezers or pliers. Help get these treble hooks out of the fish's mouth. There's several fish that I caught in the past 2 days that without those I would not have been able to get the treble hooks out. And if I would have been able to, the fish probably would have not made it. And I wish I could have seen what that one bite was that left a huge swirl in the water. I have never fished out here this long without catching something, so I wonder if it's because I got the camera rolling or what. It's kind of crazy. I don't know if that was a hit or if I got hit on a rock there. Most of my strikes have been casted out, and then it'll float all the way down with the current. I think fish see it here and they follow it. And then once it gets down to the bottom of the current at the end of your line, there's one just like that. I think they come in behind it, and then when it changes rhythm, that's when they strike it. It's just a little rainbow. Oh, there he goes. And that's the size that most of them have been little pan-sized rainbow trout like that. I've caught a couple little bit better ones, but yeah, so that's usually how it is. I cast it upstream. It'll kind of take the current all the way to the back. I think fish are seeing it as it floats down and following it all the bottom, and they're getting behind it down current. And then as it flips around into the current and starts spinning, that seems to be where most of them are striking it. The goal of this trip was really to catch a decent brown trout. I've caught, went to Alaska last year and caught some really nice rainbow trout. So I don't think the rainbow trout here really compare to that. So the goal was to get on a nice brown trout. Caught a couple babies, but nothing of size so far. My wife caught a nice one a couple of years ago here on a rainbow trout colored Thomas Buoyant. I've been throwing that around and actually only catching other rainbow trout, but let's just try to move upstream a little bit. Yesterday I had some luck moving upstream, and when I would move upstream I would take a cast, and my first cast upstream I would get hit almost immediately, basically as the lure was falling through the water. So I'll try that a few times. It's always harder to move upstream than it is to go down, so we'll fish upstream away from the dock, and if the water comes up it'll be easy to basically float back down to the stairs versus working your way downstream, and then as the water comes up trying to push against it as it increases in strength. So we've been coming here since I was a kid, camping at the state park, and kind of started making a tradition to come up here during Christmas time and stay in a little cabin and do some fishing. It's just a beautiful area. Last 2 years ago when we came, the weather was in the 70s every day, sunny, beautiful conditions. This year a little bit less lucky with the rain and the clouds, but still just as beautiful. We got bald eagles flying down the river all day. Little airport here, so people are taking off in their little planes. The water's come up just a bit. We're still good. We got plenty of time. It's kind of crazy. I would think the conditions be perfect right now for catching a couple, but trout seem to be like that. They'll either all be biting at one time or none will be biting at all. I know fish are seeing my lure. We're gonna change one more time. The water is starting to rise a bit, but we're gonna switch it around here. Go fast. There's one. Oh, that was a good hit. Great hit. hard to tell how big they are down current because current's pulling them so strong. That feels like a decent fish though. Come on. Oh, that feels like a real nice one. Be a brown, be a brown. Rainbow. I'll get tired out before we bring him in. Not too bad. This is when these little pliers will come in handy. You just grab the treble hook. If he quits freaking out on me, grab the treble hook, just shake him loose, and there he goes. So that one caught on a deep cast, and then kept the line kind of tight with a couple of reels just to give that spoon some action. But again, he didn't hit it until there's a hit. Oh man, I'm sleeping. The other one didn't hit it till it went all the way down. Keep it moving. I like to pull it up and then just let it fall down with the current. And really, you could just let it sit there in the current down river of you and just work. Just turn like the spoon does. And you'll get hit there. That's how my wife caught the brown last year. She had her spoon just sitting in the water just downstream of her. And the brown came up and hit it about 20 foot from her, probably one backside. That current's getting strong. There's a bald eagle.
You're talking about the casserole thing? Yeah. There's a lot of casserole.
Making a South African oxtail poikie. Everyone's staying dry.
Hey, Ashley.
And the water's still super high. Waiting for it to calm down so we can go back to fishing. And there's an eagle's nest right there. I've been watching the bald eagles on. The water's perfect this morning. Going out for a morning session. See how long it lasts. We're going to start with the 1/4 ounce OG Thomas Buoyant. The bald eagle watching us. Maybe that's good luck. We'll see. We did switch to a 6-pound leader instead of a 10-pound leader. So let's see if that makes any difference. All it should do is add a little action to the lure and then also make it harder for those fish to see the line. There's one. We're gonna have to keep a little fish today because that's what we're supposed to eat for supper tonight. But we'll let the first one go. Okay, this is a real nice fish. For eating, that is. We'll throw him in the net. If he's in the net, we'll see if he stays. Trying to just lift it up, let the bottom go there, and it makes a little cage for him to stay in. Keeps him fresh. And if we don't keep him, he'll still be fine to be released. There's a chance that he escapes, but oh well. Oh, on the drop, that feels like a good one, bud. Even coming downriver. Is it a brown? Oh, it's a stud brown, boys. Stud brown. Oh, we got a stud brown with the hands. Oh my gosh, dude. This is what we have been out here trying to get a hold of. I knew he was a bigger fish. I mean, I hooked him upstream. Wait a minute. Hooked him upstream and he still had so much weight and he was coming downstream towards me. Oh my gosh, dude, heck yeah. He's my biggest brown ever. That's including when we were fishing in Alaska, or in Colorado. Dang, look at that thing. I still got some of the red spots on him that the juveniles do, but wow, it's a pretty fish. Little fish face. I will let him go. Oh, sick, dude. I guess the eagle was good luck, baby. I already moved upstream just a little bit. I caught that brown trout. He's probably sitting right here, but I cast it upstream when I hooked him, so maybe there's some kind of hole or rock or something that fish are sheltering behind. I might have hooked that. No way. Okay, I had to be hooked on some grass or something. There's no way I hooked that. Unless it just like ate it and just sat in the same spot. Because I was hitting off, you can see my rod tip moving, I was hitting off rocks and stuff, but nothing was really taking it. It just bounced along the bottom, which is what you want, really. And it kind of naturally just float down the bottom, imitate an injured, that might have been a hit, injured bait fish or an injured crawfish or whatever else these things eat. That's just been swept down the river and they come out from where they're hiding and smash it just like that. This might just be another, looks like maybe a little decent rainbow. That's a nice fish. I wasn't recording, but I was moving downstream and just had my lure floating here in the current and hooked up right there. Another nice little rainbow trout. They'll go in the net. Both times it wasn't recording. Oh, what is this? Little brown trout. Technically, I think we could keep this one, but he's a little bit small, so we'll let him go. There he goes. Cool little brown trout. Okay, we got bad news. I dropped a lure in the water in the process of trying to fish it back out with the end of my rod. All four of the rainbow trout got out of the net. So my reel was giving me issues, so I went in and replaced my reel real quick. I'd say this way. So I caught the brown up there. Look in the shallow stuff. But we got switched out. A new lure tied on. We got a stringer this time. Not messing around here. So make sure we keep them. I forgot to record anything after that, but we did end up catching 2 more rainbows for the frying pan. So no one had to go hungry that night. Thanks for watching.